Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video today, and welcome to all the details that you need to know and that we know so far of F1 2020 normal career mode. So I want to stress, I've already uploaded a video today about all the details you need to know about my team career mode, the creator team career mode. So there's an annotation in the top right, or just go to my channel and the video is uploaded already earlier today. So that is a separate video for my team details. This video is going to be all about normal career mode. So the normal choosing an official F1 team to drive for at the start of the career mode and then going on to try and be a world champion. So if you watched the My Team video earlier, you'll know how this video is going to go. There's not going to be any gameplay from the actual career mode because Codemasters aren't letting that being captured right now. The only thing we can show you guys in terms of gameplay as it stands is time trial right now, but this will be a detailed video of what you can expect in terms of improvements and additions to this year's game for career mode specifically. Like I said, it's a separate one from My Team. So off the bat, the first thing actually away from anything that I've written here is actually that F2 will be available at the very start. They'll ask you if you want to play a full season of F2 before you jump into F1. So if you do want to have that kind of experience of F2 to F1 in full, you can now play a full F2 career mode season before going to F1 in this is normal career mode, or you can do that same 3-race taster of F2 and then go into F1. But I asked Lee Mather about it, and it probably was kind of obvious already, but there is no more F2 story mode in the game. There is no more Lucas Weber. There is no Devin Butler to make way for that stuff, to make way for My Team, of course, and all the stuff they've added on that couldn't possibly carry over. They actually were two different teams that made F1 2020 and F1 2019 in terms of working parallel at the same time and kind of, working kind of in a staggered way. And so those two teams working on different aspects. So one team was working on that story mode stuff earlier in F1 2019 and this stuff for F1 2020. So there's no story mode. It might come back in later years. We'll have to see. But for now, it's now not any... But for now, it's not there anymore. So RIP to Lucas Weber and Devin Butler. Gone but not forgotten for sure for me personally, obviously, because I had a great time with them in last year's game in the career mode. But let's now look at the details now of normal career mode. So the R&D, now I mentioned this at the end of the My Team video, but I'm going to reset it in case you don't want to watch that one. So you can now develop R&D in standard mode or rushed mode, which gives you a higher chance of failures. So if you want to try and fast track an upgrade in the R&D tree, you can do, but it also might fail or have a high chance of failing, so you can't really get angry at it. There's that kind of active kind of choice you can make, and so I like that kind of, more dynamic way of moving about the tree base and getting your car better. And then at the same time, and this is something that I have wanted for so long, and I definitely have said in game ideas videos, if you guys have watched those before, power unit supply upgrades. So now, if the factory team upgrades their engine, you will now see that upgrade come to your car if you're a customer team. So if Mercedes were to upgrade, if Ferrari were to upgrade, you will see that engine upgrade come to you as well, which makes a lot of sense because that's how it works in real life, and I've been banging on about that for about 2 years at least, minimum. I wanted to see it come in, so I'm so thankful it has. So that's another great addition to the R&D. In terms of the R&D then, that's kind of where it ends for normal career mode, which isn't too bad because it's already at a really decent place in terms of the detail they've got, but the tweaks they've made here, especially with the engine supply, do really change the dynamic quite a lot in that kind of aspect on the side of the tree. We then move on to contracts and perks. So contracts now and the driver perks that you would have had in the contracts in F1 2019 have been overhauled and they're completely different now in F1 2020 career mode, and for the better really, because now you've got a driver market and you are on the market along with other drivers, which does include the F2 drivers as well, because I asked that question to Lee Mather in a Q&A session and he did confirm that F1 drivers now can technically retire or be kind of, laid off for good, and you might see some more F2 drivers coming into the grid in later seasons. But he wanted to stress it's obviously not going to be overboard. It's going to be quite slow. You're not going to see so many F1 drivers retiring because there's obviously, it's not realistic. Top F1 teams, even the mid F1 teams might not hire F2 drivers every single season to replace their outgoing F1 drivers, but it can happen. So that's a really good positive sign there. So you are now part of the driver market, and so now you'll have this kind of menu system. Again, if you watch the My team video, you'll know that there were screenshots I was shown in the presentation. I'm not allowed to show them. I'm not even allowed to Photoshop creations of them. So I've gone ahead and drawn it. So on screen now, you can see a drawing that I've made of the kind of screen of the driver market negotiations. So you've got the driver on the left. You've got kind of in the middle is the panel for what the contract is you're being offered. And on the right-hand side is the kind of auction, essentially. And it looks like there's a timer. So you're actually time pressured to choose your contract. So you can't just take forever. And it's like an auction house of you've got one team batting first, and then you've got another team lining up. And if you fancy choosing the team that comes second, you can go ahead and cancel the previous contract you've kind of already accepted. So there's that fluidity about it. But now there are salary negotiations with your contract. So there's in-game salary currency for your driver in normal career mode. And from that salary, you'll have a driver perk fund. And that's going to be quite important for you because the driver perks will give you some, well, good perks to use throughout the entire career. So you're going to actually want to care about your salary. And in terms of the team offers, with the screenshots, I saw that there was also buyouts. So other teams that come for you, and if you're already contracted to another team midway through the season, let's say, they're going to have to maybe pay to buy you out. So that's also going to have to be a consideration in terms of you're going to, if you want to move team, you're going to have to also consider how much your buyout is. Like, you might be too expensive to buy out of your current contract, and so you might have to wait till the end of the season once your contract's run its course. So in terms of the driver perk funds, so in terms of what I've seen so far from the screenshots, I was able to deduce there's social media team, which improves your driver acclaim boost. So that's your kind of rep, I guess, in the paddock in general. You've got power mapping, which reduces your engine wear. So that's quite a big one. Obviously, I would love that because I wear my engine out quite a lot with the amount I rev the engine a lot. Media coaching, so you have additional interview answers. So those could be more, you know, showmanship answers, maybe sportsmanship answers. I don't know if they have that same system in interviews. Hopefully they do, and it means a lot more because they're kind of every year they've kind of made it matter more. But additional answers, maybe some quirky ones, some funny ones maybe to give out, and then development feedback. So R&D points income boost. So that's a big one as well. All kind of quite similar, remember, to the ones that we had in the contract system in F1 2019, but this is a better way to do it now, I feel, because now it's a lot more control. You have a load of money, your salary means a lot more, and now you can spend your salary on these perks. I'm guessing there's going to be also perks about pit stops, maybe, I would say, just logically in terms of, you know, not wanting to take away choices from the player from what we had of last year's career mode, basically. But things that we've got right now, like there with the social media team and stuff, really cool to see, kind of giving that immersion as well of having a salary and having those kind of, you know, because some drivers are more media savvy than others, so it's kind of cool that you can become more media savvy and have better answers in interviews than other drivers, potentially, obviously, you know, the fake drivers, the AI drivers in the game, basically. And then we found out that the rivalry system has also been changed in F1 2020 for career mode, and I probably guess also in my team in a way, but the way you answer interviews now will determine your rival. So you will no longer, it seems like, choose your rival, but you will choose your rival via your answers. So they'll actively ask you questions about a certain team, maybe, and then after that question, they'll ask you about a certain driver. And if you answer in like a negative way, maybe, or like a feisty way, that they may become your rival. Or potentially, even if you kind of respect a driver, it might become a healthy rivalry in that kind of way. So no longer will you just choose kind of, you know, out and out who you want, which is kind of arbitrary. It'll actually come out of your answers, which makes sense because in real life, I guess that's definitely how rivalries kind of form, you know, on track as well, of course, but also the personal battles. You know, certain drivers definitely don't like certain drivers in the paddock, so that might be a bit of tension and rivalry. So it makes sense that it comes through like that. So really good to see that's a new overall system of the rivalry in F1 2020 career mode. And then finally, we've got the short custom season calendars that we already kind of knew about. But a question I asked Ali Mather in the Q&A session was, can we change those season lengths season to season? And that was a yes. So if you wanted to do a 22 race season to kick off the career mode, let's say you play 3 seasons of career mode, then you get to, you know, about this time of the year, you know, it's the end of the game cycle, you're a little bit bored, you don't want to do the entire season, but you still fancy doing your favorite tracks, you can then move to 16 races or 10 races, you know, after your current season is over. So you can switch and go like 22, 16, then up to, down to 10, then back up to 22, then back down to 10, and you can choose the tracks with those 10. So you have full customization of those tracks. So if you have certain tracks you're not too great at, you can remove those. So definitely, it's a great thing for casual players out there who maybe aren't great at every single circuit. And also, to be fair, it's just great in general, because definitely there will be a case where some of you guys do get bored of a whole season. You know, you want to do a whole new season, you want to have that kind of thrill of starting a new career mode, but then 22 races, it's a lot of races to do. So, a 10 race season might be way more appealing to you to get through those seasons. Finally now, some of you might be able to get through to the end of season 10 of career mode. Maybe even I will get through to the end of season 10 because I've not done that so far, because 10 seasons of like a 21 race or 22 in this year's game, year's case, is a lot of races, a lot of time to put in, especially if you're doing 50% races. That's all the kind of news so far and details of career mode, the changes and the improvements and additions to career mode for F1 2020. Of course, there's a lot more that's gone into my team because that's the kind of bigger game mode and bigger addition to the game. So I'm not surprised there are maybe less additions, but it's good to see they've still tweaked it. So for those of you who are maybe not too keen on my team, can still play normal career mode. And in general, I know for sure, as me as a player, I'll probably go between the two. I think I still don't know, by the way, how I'm going to do that at the start of the game cycle. So again, let me know in the comments below, guys. A few weeks to mull it over, maybe. What are you guys thinking? Like, should I do 2 series in tandem of my team and career mode? I'm just not too sure, because I'm sure there's going to be a load of you that want to see my team, of course, but there will be a decent, maybe smaller number of you that still want to see normal career mode. So I don't really know how to play it, and I don't know how some of you guys are going to play it at home. Like, are you going to play normal career mode if you're playing my team already? I don't know, but it's cool to see they've still improved it, and they've added these kind of things like the driver perks, the new rivalry system, the contracts, to make it feel different from my team, and still like there's a step forward in that department, because ultimately I think there still is a lot to do with normal career mode, even away from all the my team creating a team kind of stuff. So guys, that's going to be this video then. So if you did find it informative and enjoyed all those details, then be sure to smash that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.